And welcome to the Franklin Show. I'm your host, Franklin, and today we have a very special guest on our show. We're actually going to be talking to Topaz Gypsy Starchild, the bestseller author's mother today. Don't be surprised, but she's actually in disguise today as her favorite musician, and she's in an undisclosed location right now because what she's going to share with us today is very secret and very sensitive material. This is the first it is ever being released, and her name is Dr. Phyllis. Dr. Phyllis, how are you doing today?
Hi, Franklin. Thanks so much for having me on your show today. I appreciate you having me here last minute so I can tell you all about my recent discoveries.
Of course, I'm glad to have you here on the show today. Now, you were telling me the other day about being an archaeologist and the things you found there. Can you just tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, yes. It was quite the adventure that day. I was out with several of my colleagues. We were on a location that was very secret. We weren't allowed to tell anyone where we were at. And as we were digging, we found some really tiny bones that were very unusual. And they looked very hominoid, but not quite. And I was convinced they were an alien species. When I was on that excavation, I was on a break and I was taking my normal walk that I usually do. And as I was walking, I looked up at the sky and the clouds just started parting in this unbelievable way. The light was so indescribably bright. And all of a sudden, I felt myself shrinking smaller and smaller and smaller. I was shrunken down to a microscopic scale. I don't know what was happening. But I got up into an alien spacecraft.
So you shrunk down very small, kind of like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yes, exactly like that. It was amazing to experience. When I was in the spacecraft, I was actually greeted by several extraterrestrials, and they actually looked like my favorite musician, Brett Mitchell. One of them actually came up and kissed me on the nose. And at that moment, I knew that I had conceived a beautiful child, a hybrid child, an alien child. I could just feel it when I got kissed on the nose. After my abduction experience, I was transported back to my house. And the next morning, I woke up, I was 3 months pregnant. I knew this child was someone very special.
That is really, truly amazing. And you're saying these aliens, they didn't look the way that we perceive aliens to look, gray and kind of small with big heads and big eyes. They all looked like Brett Mitchell. Now, did you have a boyfriend or a husband during that time?
I was actually married at the time. We hadn't had sex in over 8 years, and I was becoming very miserable. It just didn't happen. We never had sex. You should talk to him. So I know that Topaz is definitely part alien.
That's a very long time. I probably would have gotten divorced before then. Now, maybe that's why Topaz writes all those books about relationships.
Yes, I do believe that's the reason why she did get inspired to delve into the world of relationships.
What was Topaz Gypsy Starchild like as a child?
She really liked eating glue. She would mix it with her Cheerios. One day, she mixed it with her Cheerios, and she had created an entire 2-scale replica of the pyramids of Giza. I was just blown away with this child's creative talent. And she still even eats glue to this day. She uses it as her creative art therapy time.
Maybe I should start eating glue. Maybe I'll be able to build Stonehenge. Who knows?
I believe it. When she was a teenager, I walked in the room and what I saw was beyond compare. She was in full lotus position, and you won't imagine what I saw next. She was drinking beer with her feet and creating an unimaginable landscape with her hands.
Very interesting.
And then one day, when I was cooking breakfast. I walked past the window and she was outside in the backyard, and I swear to God I saw her making squirrels and chipmunks levitate. I don't know. I looked and it was happening, and then I looked back and nothing weird was happening. So I'm not sure what was going on, but it was just, I don't deny it that it happened. Yeah, I actually wanted to share with you one of my favorite songs from Rhett Mitchell. My favorite song is, it's called One Kiss on the Nose and You Were Born. It's one of my favorite 80s power ballads. One kiss on the nose and you were born. Aliens were breaking through the dawn. Every archaeologist thought I had smoked too much from the bong. But one kiss on the nose and you were born.
Amazing. Amazing. Now, is there anything you would like to tell the audience before we end here tonight?
Well, I would like to say that if you are abducted by a microscopic alien, if you don't want a hybrid alien child, don't let them kiss you on the nose.
Thank you for that. And everybody, again, Dr. Phyllis, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Of course.
And I hope we can have you again sometime soon.
We got to get the word out there to humanity while we still can, and hopefully the government won't find me anytime soon.
I hope so too. Thank you again, and have a great night, everybody. Bye-bye. Oh, hello. If you like what you saw today, make sure to subscribe and like the little bell notification to make sure you get notified every time we make a new interview. What am I doing?
I don't know. I keep wiping my beard off. Oh, we're still recording. Every archaeologist. That's where I lose it. After my abduction experience, I was actually transported back.
Wait. Does anyone ever call you Dr. Phil?